Hey YouTube, and welcome back to the Sneaky B YouTube channel. Last time I left you guys, I was getting my steam port kit, my all pressure sender, and my intake manifold installed. I was explaining how I still needed injectors on both sides, obviously, and what do you call this thing? Throttle body for this whole setup. The reason I haven't gotten a throttle body is because it takes a 102 millimeter throttle body, drive-by-wire, which means it's electronically controlled. You press the gas pedal, it sends a signal to the ECU, which opens or closes your throttle body. Some of them can be cable driven, where like when you press the gas pedal, it pulls a cable and opens your throttle body, but I wanted to do drive-by-wire. Anyways, I haven't gotten one of those yet because they're a little bit hard to find in 102 millimeter. I think I'm just gonna go with a 103 millimeter one and see if I can make that fit. But anyways, for right now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and start getting some of the wiring installed on this thing. Because once that throttle body comes in, I'm gonna need to do that anyway. So the first thing I'm gonna do is get my, toss that off to the side, get my spark plug wires installed. The spark plug wires obviously come from your little coil banks here and go to your spark plugs. So go ahead and get those guys installed. They just press on like so. And it's that side, and let's do this side. 4 other ones here. And the spark plug wires are all installed. That was easy enough. They look just like that on either side. So now the next thing I want to do is get my, what is this? This is the sub harnesses for the coils. This actually feeds the power to the coils that then, like, you know, distributes that power to the spark plugs. So this is going to be the odd numbered coils. That means they are going to be on the passenger side, I believe. It's 1. Now the odd numbers are going to be on the driver's side. 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. But just to make sure, I'm going to check on that. Give me just a second. What I'm doing now is I'm looking up the firing order for an LS engine, and when you view an LS engine from the front, this side, your firing order is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, just like that. So yeah, The odd number coils are going to be on your driver's side. So this guy just plugs in here. And I believe this whole thing faces towards the back because that's where like all my wiring is gonna like kind of conglomerate, is towards the back of the engine. So this the odd side, and this is gonna be the even side. Let's get this guy plugged in. And that's going to be it for the coil harness. Let's see what I got next. The drive-by-wire harness, which is kind of pointless at this moment because I don't have my drive-by-wire throttle body, so I'm not going to mess with that right now. Let's see. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave this in its box until I'm ready to use it. So, next up, I've got the big guy, which is going to be my main harness. And it has a whole lot more wires than all the rest of them. It is a massive, massive thing. And guess I'll get to it. Let's go ahead and lay this out. Grab the instructions here. Alright. Guess I'll just read off the labels. Don't know where that one goes. That's a fuse. That's a fuse. There's a relay actually. This goes to the CAN bus system. This goes God knows where. I have no idea where any of this goes. Alright. So this actually goes directly to the cylinder head. Here's something. Got one that goes to the oil pressure sender. Guess I can plug it in. Click. Alright, let's see where the rest of these guys go. This side goes to the even ignition coils. So it plugs in here. Which means there's another one that goes to the odd ignition coils. Probably not this one. This one goes to the map sensor. This one goes, God knows where, I'll figure that out later. This one goes to the crank position sensor, which will be over here. Where'd it go? Crank position sensor. What an annoying thing. So that plugs in here. I think it's supposed to. Three prong. Yet it fights me. I need to flip it. Alright, I need to pull my crank position sensor off because doesn't seem to want to plug into my crank position wire, crank position sensor wire. So I need to troubleshoot that. Snatch that out of there. And let's see. Crank goes like this. No, it goes like this. Weird, it doesn't want to go either way. I may have the incorrect harness for my crank. So I'm gonna have to go on Summit Racing and check and see. And I'll have to get back to you guys later. So my crank position sensor plug here was the wrong plug. I had the plug for a 58 tooth ring, and as I mentioned in one of my previous videos, my crank has the 24 tooth ring. So basically all I did was I went to one of the local auto parts store and I got the pigtail, and I took the plug off it, the pigtail for the 24 crank sensor. I took the plug off it and basically replaced this one with this one, which plugs right into the crank position sensor. I'm pretty sure I got the wiring correct. I hope I did. If not, it's changeable. I can change it back. All I know is that you know, it has 3 wires. The black goes in the middle. The black, I mean, you can't get the middle wrong. So between this purple one and this red one here, there's a possibility that they could be switched, but I doubt it. I hope not. I'll never know until I get this thing and try to get it running, but we'll see. Anyways, moving right along, that clicks right on there. This was for a knock position sensor, so it's gonna go ahead and plug that into my knock sensor here. And let's see, what else do I have? I got a WBO2. I'm not sure what that does. I guess I'll find out eventually. A loose wire here. This needs to be connected directly to one of my cylinder heads. I gotta get some bolts to like tighten this to the cylinder head as well as this one. There's one on this side too. So these are grounds. They just, you know, connect to the cylinder head to ground the engine out. Engines are grounded in multiple places, so those are just a couple of the grounds. So let's see. I have another knock sensor that goes to this side. So we'll get that one plugged in. And clicked into place nicely. And let's see what else. I've got a bunch of stuff here. Got one for my throttle position sensor, TPS. One for fuel. I think this one plugs into the fuel, the harness that goes to the fuel injectors to tell it when to fire. Strangely enough, those two are exactly the same. I got my MAT sensor, mass air temperature, that tells the computer what the air temperature is coming into the engine. Got my cam sensor. I can plug that in right away. My IAC, my IAC, or air intake control. That'll be mounted to the throttle body when I get the throttle body, so I don't need to worry about that right now. And my CTS. I'm not actually sure what CTS stands for, but I'm sure I can figure it out. Anyways, the only one of these that I can actually plug in right now is going to be the cam sensor. So let's bring this around to the front here and click it into place. If you guys remember, the cam sensor was up here. I removed that little extender that I have over here in the box here because I don't think that would have plugged in. Let's see. Actually, it would have plugged in just fine. But anyways, yeah, I didn't need that. And the cam plug can just plug right into the cam, which is down here. And it goes click, just like that. So now I have this mess of wires here that I can't really do anything with yet. And I have what I guess is the back end of my wiring harness. And it needs to go, I'm pretty sure these two plug directly into the ECU, the computer. This is a solenoid and this is a fuse, so those don't really do anything. Then you have these two wires here. I'm not really sure what they are. I think they are for my switched power, so that when I turn the key on, the battery actually sends power to the ECU, like, and it can turn it on and off like that, so that the ECU doesn't just have power all the time. I got a couple of wires, a couple of bundles here that I'm not sure what they go to. They're not labeled or anything. They might just be spares or something. I'll have to look that up. And I have a pigtail here for my injectors. I don't have any injectors yet, but I can at least get the harness plugged into its pigtail there. So let's see. This is going to be my drive-by wire harness, so that's not what I'm looking for. main power harness for my ECU, and this one's going to be my harness for all of my injectors. As you can see, it's got its main plug back here that receives all the power and then sends it out to its different injectors. You got injector 9, no, injector 6. I'm looking at that upside down. There is no injector 9, injector 8, injector 5, and so forth. But while I don't have the injectors to plug it into just yet, it can be plugged into its like main power source here. So go ahead and do that. Click. There's another one plugged in, and these guys just kind of go, you know, around to either side of the thing here, like that. And as of right now, I think this is basically all I can do as far as getting everything plugged in, because I still got to get a few more parts, including my air intake, my intake air control, which is just a valve that controls the how your engine idles. When your throttle body is completely closed, your engine still needs air to run. So the intake air control actually controls that and lets a little bit of air in to keep your engine at idle. That's why it's called an idle air control. So the map sensor actually is mass air pressure. It measures, I think, the density of the air that comes in, or how much air pressure is in your intake manifold or coming to your intake manifold through the air tube, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, and there's probably a couple of other things that need to be plugged in. Of course, all of those wires down on that side. But as far as getting some of these plugged in, I think I'm making pretty good progress. But I think I'm gonna have to end it there today. So make sure you send your friends my way if you can. Hit that like and subscribe button, and have a good one.